Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of social media, pop culture, TV, film, sports, everything really. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter goes PD Beats. I just have one word to say right now, bonsai. Because we are talking to an actor and a skateboarder as well. We're talking to Bo Mitchell, who is on the YouTube Red hit series Cobra Kai. Bo, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you.
First off, I had Joe on the show who played Kyler, who played your buddy on the show, but I also hear that your buddy's offset as well, which is really cool. The show was amazing, man. Like, congrats on it. Like, talk a little bit about, the reception it's gotten from your end.
Yeah, dude, thanks. It came out great, and me and Kyler, our Joe, are pretty good buddies. Due to that, we just kind of we were really close in age, and so we kind of broke down. And now we're homies, and the reception's been amazing. I mean, we've got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is outstanding to me. I've rarely ever seen that, and man, just it's been great how supportive YouTube Red has been, and how supportive the fans have been. I mean, I think we're digging up some hardcore fans that just loved the movie, but there was lack of content, consistent content. So they're coming out of hiding right now, all these hardcore fans from, that liked the movie when it originally came out. So I think that's been a really big, important key factor of the success, because those fans are getting their friends and their family and their kids into it. I mean, I see myself doing that, even though I wasn't alive when the movie came out. I was a big fan of the original series of movies, and so now I'm like trying to get my buddies to watch the original, and trying to get everyone I know that hasn't seen it to watch it. So I think that's a big factor, but it's just been great, man. It's been great.
It's funny because I've had like a perfect streak in terms of when I tell people to watch it. They not only watch it and say, oh yeah, it's awesome, but they watch it and say, man, this is one of the best things I've seen. Like, everyone just seems, the writing is amazing. The whole thing was unbelievable. Like, you guys really hit it out of the park.
Thank you. You know what? It was like on set, I realized that on set, because I've been doing this, my whole life pretty much since I was a baby. I got my first gig when I was 9 months old. So I've seen a lot of.
And what was that? What gig was that?
It was a photo shoot for a lookbook for, I think, Baby Gap or JCPenney Baby, something like that. I was a baby model dressed up in clothing.
9 months, so didn't waste any time.
Right, no, and it kind of kickstarted me. I got an agent off of that and started doing little stuff and worked my way up. And so, like I said, I've seen a lot of sets, and that set was just high caliber, man. Everything was on point. Everything was done and executed properly, and there was a lot of good teamwork and coexistence. And so just being on set, I knew that, like, wow, this is great. It's got the potential. And then, of course, working with everybody, seeing the talent, then that ensured even more how good the finished product was going to be. I mean, John, Josh, and Hayden, the writers / directors, those guys are just great. I've talked extensively with them while on set about a lot of things just regarding, the business and comedy and the show, and just I could tell they're just very talented, and they're a hard-hitting team. They're a team, man. I think that's why the writing's so powerful, because you got three great minds, collaborating on one script.
And it's funny because they, it's the same writers that, were involved with the Harold and Kumar movies.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find interesting is, for my next question is, you were also on a show at HBO, Eastbound and Down. You were on that show for a little bit. And my question is, times are really tough, Bo, and I think we need these escapes, like these slapstick, funny comedy movies that, when you're in a tough time, you know what I mean? You can put them on and just relax and kick back. And I think Cobra Kai does that as well. What do you kind of think about that from your perspective? Because you're the one on screen and kind of doing that and giving that to a lot of people in the audience, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm making people laugh. That's the point. I think that it is very important. That's why I do what I do. I want to make people laugh. That's why I work on certain shows, because I know they're going to be funny, and I enjoy humor in all forms, really. Even some of the off-putting forms of humor. I just went and watched Deadpool 2, and that was just way far to the left side crazy humor, but I can appreciate it because it points out, it's real. It points out some stuff, So I think that it's important because humor and comedy gets this it's a scapegoat for itself. It's like, oh, it's a joke, so I can say some things that might be a little real, a little too real for some people, or I could do some things that reenact something that might offend someone, but it's comedy and it's a joke and it's lighthearted. It's not meant to hurt anyone. It's just meant to expose these feelings that people are hiding sometimes or keep inside, and it's a good way to help process that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think Johnny's character, grown up now, is hilarious. He is just extremely he is just a numbskull. It's like he's still a high schooler. Yeah. And I think that's hilarious because I feel like there's a lot of people out there still like that. And he said all this offensive stuff about women that is just, it's untrue. And, of course, none of us truly believe some of the things he said, but it is just hilarious because that somewhere out there, there's that a guy exists. Who probably thinks like that.
I think the best part, I talked to Joe about it too. My favorite part is when he finds out Miguel is dating Daniel LaRusso's daughter, and he sits him down on the sidewalk and explains the beef, right? And I think the best part about that, and the writing, just it was amazing, is his perspective, right? Where he thinks Dad, was the bad guy, comes out of nowhere, sucker punches me, and then he sends his karate master after us. It's so good.
Yes, it is. It is amazing. There's a lot of fan fiction and theories and stuff on YouTube. If you ever really dig into it, and some people are really hardcore on that side, that Daniel LaRusso is the bully,
and it's true. And what the show, I think, kind of does an amazing job of embracing that those kind of arguments and those kind of fictional things, because I think you know what I'm going to talk about, because there's moments where you have Miguel and Robbie, and there are moments where you love Miguel, but then there's moments where you don't like him, and there's moments where you like Robbie, but then there's moments where you don't. So I think that's genius in terms of looking at both sides and seeing who audience maybe getting to choose maybe.
Yes, I think that's just amazing writing skills right there, and then it's followed up, of course, with editing and cinematography and the acting, but it starts with the writing, and I think that's where that comes from. They're just good at what they do, and that's also that's what you want. It creates this non-linear experience for you where you're not continuously experiencing the same thing. It's not like a sitcom where the protagonist is always the protagonist,
Yeah.
It's more like an actual film, a movie, a full length where roles change and your emotions as the viewer changes, and so it's very in depth. And I appreciate that. Actually, I think that's another reason that it's just so successful, because it's almost the point where you could pick sides. You could pick your team, and then you get you get your fans all fired up, like, oh, I'm Team Cobra Kai, or I'm Team Miyagi-Do, Daniel LaRusso. So I think it's great.
And I just thought about it. I didn't get a chance to talk to Joe, but there's a little part where there's hope, where maybe we think Kyler isn't as bad as we think when he's like, oh, this is for Sam, like the necklace, but then we find out, nah, you're still a jerk. You're not a good person.
Yeah, man. He got it from some dollar store or something. Apparently that's his normal gig. I was reading the script and thought that. I was like, no way, he's giving him that's great, you know. And then
it's my grandmother's,
I come in there and like read my line and the fight prelude to the locker room fight. I'm just like, oh yeah, he's still bad.
But because especially at the end of the movie, like the end of the show, you start not liking Miguel. Like he's getting a bit like cocky, and he's getting that swagger that Johnny had, and I find that's an interesting ending. And then we're not gonna talk about it much, but the ending of how the show ends for season 1, just is like, whoa, like this is happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But the one thing, Bo, that my reaction was when I finished watching the whole series, and I was like, okay, I want more. I want it now. You know what I mean? Like this was the type of show that I wanted to watch more of it right away.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that they let it all out at one time. I mean, that was the plan. The binge watching is becoming the new style of consuming content. So, yeah, that is just the way of life now. It's like no one's trying to wait 10 weeks to get 10 episodes. They want it all at once. So it's hard for viewers. Because you pound through a season in a day or two, or sometimes a week or whatever, even a month. And you're just like, wow, I'm ready for season 2. And it's like, we can't puff them out that fast.
No.
Sadly. So I wish we could. I wish we could keep the content coming.
You're also a skateboarder. I wanted to know a little bit about that. I wanted to know when you kind of got into that. I find it interesting because, a lot of people talk about, the energy. They love the energy aspect of it. They love, the escape of just hopping on your board and in the nice weather and going out there. What do you like the most about skateboarding?
Oh, man. Okay. That's you're getting really philosophical here.
Sorry. I mean,
no, I like it. No, man. It's hard to pick one thing. I guess the community aspect is possibly my favorite thing. I got into skating when I was like in a transitioning period as a young pubescent teenager. I was like 13 and had no friends, and I was I started skating and found friends at the skate park. And so I think the community aspect is what brought me to it and kept me there, and has been my driving force behind skateboarding for myself, because it's just it's my reason to go meet up with my buddies. We don't, most of my homies, it's not the usual thing to go out and watch a game of football, or go out to the bar or go out to the movies. Like what we do is we meet up and skateboard, and so I think that's one of the biggest things about it, is the community aspect, and it can get so much deeper. I mean, I run a nonprofit skateboarding nonprofit and a indoor warehouse that is a skate park and a pro shop that sells the gear, and it has the ramps. This is actually the insignia right here. I don't know, I guess it might be mirrored, but it's called Home for Skateboarding, and you guys can check that out. That's homeforskateboarding.org. But that I started that because of the community aspect here in my hometown. We don't have a lot going on. I told you earlier, I'm from South Carolina. And so some areas of South Carolina get really rural. In this area I'm in is like that. It's the tallest building in our city is a church steeple. And, and it's interesting, man. So, like I said, we don't have a lot of concrete. We don't have a lot of places to go do things unless you're into baseball and football. And so, that's why I started all that stuff, because there wasn't anything here for the kids, and wasn't anything here for myself when I was a kid, So we got that going, and it's just been great, man. It's like I said, the community aspect. We're bringing out all these kids together that felt like they didn't have a place to belong before. Now they have a place to belong in skateboarding, and, just tying it together with the whole community aspect thing. So that's my favorite part. I love it all, though. I mean, people have different reasons. Like you said earlier, it's a great escape, etc. Good fitness, man. It's great cardio, like full body, dude. You're using your shoulders to twist and turn. You're using your legs to jump, and your core to bend up and down, and it's full body, dude. I mean, even I know people that just push. They don't do tricks. They just push around for cardio workouts. So a lot of good things in skateboarding.
Very cool. Now, what's the name of the warehouse, the skateboard park that you that you run?
Yeah, so it's HIC warehouse, and we call it HIC, but it's spelled HIC, and HIC is a euphemism for Southern people. So in America, and so it's HIC, and it's also an acronym for a nickname I had, Hollywood.
Have you guys made Fail Army yet? Has there been any videos?
Yeah, we've had a couple on Fail Army. Yeah, man, we had a.
Sorry, I wanted you were getting really philosophical and deep about it, but then because me and my parents, you know what we do? Like me and my family, we will have nights where if there's not, we're from like I'm from Ottawa, so hockey's a big thing there. So Saturday nights is hockey or a movie, but if there's no hockey, we're watching Fail Army.
Right, yeah, dude. Yeah, we've been in a few Fail Armies. We've been in a lot of different compilations, though. I don't know if all of them were Fail Army, but I know we've been in at least once. Yeah, man, just a lot of people getting hurt, man. We've had a lot of broken bones and a lot of crazy, weird, funny falls. And
sometimes the ones though that I find funny are the ones that aren't even that, because like when you see someone like really get hurt, I feel like it's like, wow, like people are laughing at that, but that guy's been like in the hospital for a while and like broke his bones. But like some of them are like the goofball ones where he's going on his skateboard and he just slips. Like that. Those are the ones I find are the best.
Ones. Yeah, simple, funny falls. Yeah, sometimes those are the best, man. You're right. I love it all, honestly. I mean, I think that, I don't know, there's much else you can do but laugh at someone that breaks a bone sometimes. I mean, you want to help them, but sometimes it's funny. It's like, oh, dude, that was crazy. But, I mean, yeah, we've been on the Fail Army and stuff. And but, yeah, you can look. If you look it up on YouTube, HSC Warehouse, you could see a lot of videos. And then if you look up homeforskateboarding.org, there's a lot of content attached to that website. And then on Instagram, we got Instagram and stuff too. Perfect. So you can go check us out there. Yeah, and so, you can go look it up and see what we're doing, and if anyone's ever down this way, y'all can come hang out and skate.
Well, for sure. But, and also, we'll wrap up soon, but Cobra Kai, season 2 has been announced that it will happen. Season 2.
Yes.
So. If Kyler and the boys come back, what do you want that to? What do you kind of envision will happen? Like, are they gonna be? Do they want to join one of these like a dojo? Do they want to get more into like MMA? Like, what's gonna happen to the boys?
Man, there is just, there's just no telling. They have a background of Kyler and Brooks, and the guys have a background of wrestling, high school wrestling. So that's kind of where they get their, fighting style from. We talked a little bit with the directors and the writers, about some possibilities, and there's just no telling. We could go either way at this point and join either dojo. So it's really up in the air. I don't know yet, and no one's been really confirmed either for season 2. It's very interesting, man. They just have the whole. These writers have jumped in this entire world they can pull from. They got 3 previous movies they could pull from, and all those days have so many great characters and content that people that are still around today, they could bring back in and create storylines about. And so, it's interesting because, like I said, they have these old characters they could bring in. They have us new characters like Brooks and Kyler that they could build up. So it's just interesting. We'll see where they take it.
There's so many cool characters. Like I love the transformation of Hawk, like Eli. Like that was the best. Like that was probably one of my favorite transformations because he just the transformation of Hawk, man. Like he just it's just some of the stuff he says. Like the whole thing about you could take her to get tattoos, and he shows it to her, and then. And he's just like, does your parents know you have that? He's like, no, I'm probably gonna have to wear a t-shirt until college.
Yeah, it's just, I know some kids like that in real life, man. He's out there, but I dig it. It's kind of real.
So you like the realism of the show. You like the reality aspect, even though it's a fictional show, fictional characters. You like that it's out there. This exists.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's something for me. I think I think it's hard to go too crazy because someone's probably done it at this point in history. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it's always funny too. It's a little more personal, like I said, when I feel like I know someone or have seen someone that I can relate to a character, because that makes it funnier to me because it's like, oh, yeah, that's real. That so and so would do that. But I think Hawk's character transformation was amazing, and I wish they had some more time to develop it deeper. They only had 10 episodes to cram all this stuff in, so.
But they did such a good job. Like I feel like I got so much from the 10 episodes.
Yes, yeah, you do. You get a lot. But I think he is just hilarious. I mean, Jacob, he's great. That's his real name, and Jacob's great, man. He's a cool kid, and he's got a lot of energy. Off camera, he's just got a lot of energy, man. The guy is jacked up all the time, energy. And so it was interesting when he was kind of lip, when he was just hiding behind his cleft lip, and and had the nerd energy, and had was just kind of scared and self-conscious. And so then when he went to Hawk, I feel like he got to let out his real energy, and I think that's important when you get to bring yourself into your character a little bit. It makes it more, you connect more with the character. I think it makes it more real for the viewers.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Bo, I think we'll wrap up, but Bo, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Where can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, I've got a Twitter that's just my name, Bo Mitchell, B-O Mitchell. And then, yeah, you can look me up on Instagram using the same name, or you can look up my actual tag. That's blonde_ambition_Mitchell, which is the Eastbound and Down reference. So, but yeah, if you look up my name, B.O. Mitchell, on Instagram, it should come up too. And that's where I'm probably most frequent. So if you want to really follow me and keep up with me, I would check out the Instagram and, come and check out Home for Skateboarding and Hick Warehouse too on Instagram, the skateboarding nonprofit.
Absolutely. Well, seriously, man, thank you so much and all the best.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, this has been Popternative. You can catch previous episodes Popternative for the video episodes like this one, youtube.com/Popternative. If you don't want to see our faces, you just want to listen to our conversation, you can take it on the go, iTunes, Spotify, wherever. We're on a lot of podcast apps, wherever you listen to the podcast, hitting about 20,000 downloads this month. So, thank you for everyone that is watching the podcast. Really appreciate it. Be sure to watch Cobra Kai, YouTube Red. Follow Bo Mitchell. Check out the skateboarding. Check out Hick Warehouse. Check all that. Until next time, this is Bo Mitchell and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.